Hey everybody, today's workout we're going to show you is a partner workout. So something you could do with a sibling, spouse, friend, anybody really. Great one if you're looking for a bit of variety within your bubble and or just a bit of fun too. So you'll see there's a fun element and there's also an intensity element to this one as well. So you can take it and make it challenging, competitive, but there's a couple of movements which you kind of see are there for a bit of a giggle as well. So yeah, I think it's a nice one for a bit of connection too between two people. So what we're going to do is I'm going to work for 40 seconds and then we'll have a 20-second break. So we'll leave each new movement every minute. Once you kind of know the movements when you're working through this on your own, you wouldn't necessarily need to have that break, but for today's sort of situation, the education component, we'll have a break every minute. I've got Jo here, my wife, she's going to run through. The first one I'm going to get you through is a lateral jumping squat. So each person's going to face each other. Jo's just going to start slightly to my right hand side, okay? So you'll see Jo's back, you can see my front. We've got our hands just interlocked, just lightly, okay, just like that. All right, and we're going to maintain interlock. We're going to swap our arms over as we go through. Awesome, I've got the clock on, 40 seconds. So we're going to squat, we side shuffle, connection on the other hand, and squat. All right, now I'm kind of bounding, all right, sort of bouncing in like a lateral jump. All right, you've got to stay lateral. You're not allowed to turn your hips and run. All right, you've got to stay facing each other, so to speak, if that makes sense. Now, great for lateral movement. All right, you can jump in and out of that squat as hard as you like. Okay, if you want a bit more intensity, you jump into it and jump out of it a little bit faster. We've got another 10 seconds. Good. Keep your spine nice and tall in the squat. Okay, go as low as you feel good. Keep an eye on each person's ability. All right, and this one as well. Awesome work, team. All right, that's our first one. Now my heart rate's up a little bit just from doing that. So if you do it a bit longer, I reckon 40-45 seconds is pretty good. So, this next one, I've got my right leg forward, and so does Jo. We kind of look like we're going to begin a lunge. We're bringing our left arms up. The right leg, that's it. Okay, time's on now. All right, so what we're doing here is we're applying force to each other's arms. So I'm pushing towards Jo's hand, which is towards the screen, and Jo's pushing towards mine. Now I'm connecting my core to that arm, all right? So it's my core that's driving against Jo's core, all right? Now, I'm going to lunge nice and slow. Now, we're going to do 20 seconds on each leg. The core's working, and I'm working a lot through my glute because I'm trying to fire up and stay nice and stable. Connect the arm to the core. It should be the abdominals that do the work up top. Let's swap sides. Good. Okay, same idea here. Up and down nice and slow. Good. So I'm driving. Okay, I've got my right hand, so does Jo, and we've got our left legs forward. So it's always the opposite hand to the leg you're using. Nice. Okay, as much force as you like. Keep in mind the other person's ability. Nice work, team. All right, and it's called a warding lunge. And you can take it into different levels of stability if you like. You can also do a squat too. Key thing, connect the arm to the core. Make sure it's the core that drives laterally, not just your shoulder. All right, let's do a row, eh? So Jo's going to come down to the ground for this one. Now I'm going to stand in a position where I'm nice and strong. So I've got one foot in front of the other. My hands are also crossed. Jo's going to lean back all the way to the ground. Okay, and she's going to pull herself up, pulling through her shoulder blades. Good, like she's doing a row. All right. Now her hips can be on the ground or they can be off the ground. Okay. So it depends on the person who's pulling up's level of strength as to what they'll do with their hips and how much load they got through their arms. And also my strength as well. So the person holding in the air has to be comfortable with the level of load that's going to go through their body. You'll note I'm in a split stance. It's really key. All right. I don't want to have my feet close together. All right. And the risk that Jo might pull me on top of her. All right. Or I might fall over. Okay. I'll lose her balance. All right, so that's our row. The key with that one is we're getting a nice, strong shoulder blade retraction, all right? So it's all about those back muscles and behind the shoulder blades. Awesome work. Next one we're going to do is we call it prone chase game or prone game tag. So I'm going to look like I'm in a press-up position. All right, Jo's going to run around and give me a bit of a target to create a tag for her. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Nice. Good, so I can use my foot or my hand. All right, I can use either hand. Okay, the idea is that she's going to make it nice and challenging for me. Good, all right. She can be as mean, of course, she wants to. I might throw a press up in between each one if I want a bit more work from it. All right, I can keep it a bit more challenging for me. Good. All right, now it gets reasonably physical for me, pretty fast. Good. Okay, we might specify one hand the entire time, or we can specify just variation. Okay, and again, if we're moving through this constantly, we're keeping our heart rate nice and high the entire time. Awesome, so that one's called prone chase, all right. Generally I'd recommend about 20 to 30 seconds on that one. And I'll swap the person on the ground, particularly if that person's not overly comfortable on their hands. They could also be on their knees in terms of their toes as opposed to their toes. as an option for that core strength and that upper body strength too. Alright, so with the version, do it on your knees versus your toes, same rules. Okay, playing tag. And the person on their feet can run around as much as they like, so both people should be getting a bit of a workout. Awesome stuff. We're going to get a Romanian foot wrestling next. So this one here, I've got a ball, I've got a rugby ball, it could be a netball, soccer ball, any ball, a little bit of circumference is good, so tennis ball etc. is a little bit too small for this one, otherwise something else that's round, you can hold between your legs. So my job this time through is to hold the ball between my feet, okay, I've got to hold my legs off the ground and I can decide whether I want my hands there or not, alright, hands off the ground I'm working hard through my core, hands on the ground it's a little bit easier, and the further I lean back the harder on my core as well. Jo's job is to come and try and wrestle that ball away from me. Alright, she's got to do whatever she can to try and get that ball away. I'm thinking tall spine the whole time. Nice work. Now once she gets it away from me, it's her turn, okay? So her turn to hold the ball. Remember, thinking when we're sitting in that V-sit position, we're thinking tall spine. Alright, it's my job to try and wrestle that ball away from her. Okay, do my best to try and get it off it. Alright, we can go back and forwards as long as we like. Okay, we might work to a time, we might work to a certain number of efforts, each person holding the ball. Now also try and stay upright and think tall spine, okay? We don't see you sitting in that nice collapsed lower back position that's going to make your lower back hurt. Hands can be on the ground and the feet and the hips can be nice and low too. So it could be that our feet are both on the ground and we're just trying to hold the ball. And that alone's going to get us working a little bit through the core at the same time. Awesome work team. Next one we'll play is a little bit of soccer. So Jo and I are going to face each other. We are both in a press up position. Okay, so my hands are just wider than my shoulder width. And I could be on my knees for this one. If I'm on my knees, my hips are forward, so my core is engaged, or I can be on my toes. Alright, the goal here, or the goal being a pun, I'm going to try and score a goal by rolling the ball between Jo's hands. Her job is to try and block it, and she's trying to do the same for me. Alright, now so that's the goal for Jo. So what we'll do is we'll emphasise the rolling, okay? If you throw it, you do risk hitting the other person in the face, okay, which we don't want. Okay, so try to stay reasonably controlled, at the same time competitive with the ball throw. Okay, if you start getting into an actual throw, it doesn't take much for it to come up, hit somebody in the face, keep in mind they've got no way of guarding from that. Make sure you keep those hands shouldered apart. The first thing you want to do is bring your goal in. If the ball goes between the hands, that's a score, okay? You might play for a certain amount of time, keeping in mind each person's ability on the ground, okay? If one person's quite challenged in that position, you might not play for too long. You might come here and come back into one of the other movements pretty quickly. Awesome week. So we've got one more game we're going to show you today. I do emphasise game for this one. What we need for this is you could use a couple of cushions. We've got a couple of sandbags. We're going to go into a crawling position. Alright, so for our crawling position, we're going to go into a prone position. Now I've got my toes curled underneath the back, my hands are underneath my shoulders, and I'm just bringing my hips off the ground a little bit. Okay, now that's my crawling position, but I could also have my knees on the ground if I want a slightly easier version. When I crawl, I want to crawl with my opposite hand and knee, okay, coming forward. From there, what's going to happen is I'm going to throw one cushion, or in this case sandbell, and wherever I've thrown it to, Jo's going to try and crawl to find it. Alright, I'm going to crawl to Jo's one. Alright, now we can throw it as far away from each other as we like, or we can keep it nice and friendly and don't go too far away. So, here's a wee demonstration. Awesome. So, I'm going to throw one over there, and crawl to Jo's one. I'm going to throw hers that way because I'm being kind. And I'm going to throw that one back over there. Good. Okay. And you can kind of make it as challenging and throw it in all sorts of different angles. Okay. Try and keep it a little bit interesting. Move it around a wee bit. Good. See if you can catch up to the other person and anticipate where they're going to throw it to. Remember, I can be crawling with my knees on the ground. If I go with my knees off the ground, they're not too high. So about an inch off the ground with my knees, and I'm curled under my toes. Make sure someone is competent in that position first before you try and play that game. Otherwise you can crawl around with your knees on the ground. And again, it gets reasonably physical, reasonably fast. Okay, so I'll be looking at something between that 30 sort of seconds to